Today's video is going to introduce you to the concept of the mole. The mole is a type of counting unit, and it's also referred to as Avogadro's number, which is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. In this PowerPoint, you'll also see the way to calculate the molar mass of both elements and compounds. The mole is a type of counting unit. You are probably already familiar with a lot of other types of counting units, such as pairs, which means 2, dozens, which means 12, reams, which means 500, light years, and then the mole is just another type of counting unit. Chemistry is a quantitative subject. That means that we're concerned with how many or how much of something you have, similar to in math. The mole is really just a type of counting unit. Other counting units that you're probably already familiar with are pairs, dozens, reams, light years, and also the mole, which you'll become familiar with during this presentation. Chemistry is a quantitative subject. That means we're interested in how many or how much of something you have. So if you have a dozen roses, we all probably know that that means 12 roses. Same thing with a dozen eggs. That means you have 12 eggs. A ream of paper, something you might not be familiar with, is 500 sheets. So if you ever see a box of paper, looks like this, you'll always know that box is going to have 500 sheets of paper in it. It's one ream. Something important to note on here is that the number is always the same, but the mass can be different. For instance, if you have 1 dozen roses, those are not necessarily going to have the same mass as 1 dozen eggs. Even though there's 12 roses and 12 eggs, the mass can still be different. And you'll see that the same is true when we talk about the mole. The mole number is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd power, or you can see it written out here at the bottom of the screen. It's a very long number. Basically, it's 6 with 23 zeros after it. Huge number. The mole number is named after Amedeo Avogadro, you can see here, and he is the man that came up with this number. Basically, what we use the mole for is to help us count how many atoms are in something. So we say that there's Avogadro's number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, of particles in 1 mole of any substance.